What's up, y'all? Solution back with a much anticipated video. I apologize for the wait, the delay. Real busy doing a lot of stuff. Ray's here, but she's in a room watching My Little Pony or something. We just came back from the movies, and yeah, I told y'all in a couple of videos when I was doing my military exchange sneaker heat videos, and I think I'm up to 5 or 6 right now, if I'm not mistaken. Probably 6 because I did the Jordan 5 submit, but I didn't go inside the exchange. I just did a preview, and they didn't wind up bringing them there to my location here in San Antonio because we have 3 bases here. Once again, there's Randolph Air Force Base, Lackland Air Force Base, and Fort Sam Houston here in San Antonio. So 3 bases you can go to and hopefully find what you're looking for a discounted price. Just to give you an idea, if the sneaker's $190 retail at other stores, you know, such as your Foot Locker, your Foot Action, things of that nature and such, it's going to be $152 on base here in Texas. If it's a low version of a retro release, it's going to be $118, if I'm not mistaken. All right, I got a couple of low releases. I should know that. So I know y'all, hey, it's a different setup. Just trying something different. Hopefully the lighting's good. We're going to find out once I look at it on the screen. But we're going to talk about how the military exchanges get their retro releases in the process. And I mentioned I was going to contact an AAFES corporate headquarters. We're in the Southwest District for AAFES. That's Army Air Force Exchange Services. They're the ones that manages your post exchange, which is the Army, your base exchange, BX, PX, if you will, Air Force, and NEX, which is the Navy. Even Marine Corps has an MEX, a Marine Corps Exchange, and the Coast Guard has a version of theirs as well. Never been to a Coast Guard, been to a Marine, and all the other ones. And they have buyers. Buyers are the ones who say these items should be in the store. So my concern was to clarify something via AAFES was, why do they have such limited quantities of these retro releases? I'm not going to name the gentleman's name. I redacted it. You're going to see it pop up on the screen. The actual email he responded to me along with my inquiry. He told me that they're limited by Nike and they don't do raffles, which is not true. Okay, it is not true. They say they're limited by Nike. What they receive, I'm sure they probably could ask for more. If they really wanted to, they're selling. They're selling. They never have any problems getting rid of them. Some of the more peculiar sizes in the small locations, it might still be there. I've always seen a 12 or a 13 retro release hanging around there. Right now, Randolph has an 11.5 alternate 4 sitting there. It's been there for about 3 weeks too. But they normally don't carry those sneakers. They'll have Jordan brand, your F23s and stuff like that, and the trainers that no one's buying. They sit there, and that was my thing. Get less of those and more of the sneakers people want. They'll also get some pretty dope Jordan 1s, which I'm happy about that. I love the Jordan 1s. As you can see, those Jordan 1 boxes right there. I love them. It's a clean shoe, and it's pretty affordable for most people who want them. Maxing out around 150 or 160, or for more of the higher ones, like the ones I have here, the perforated and the yin yangs, which are the ones here in these boxes. This is not a true braid low. This is a satin braid low. So if you're wondering why I have that up there, and you can see the price, I got that awesome deal. But they do have raffles. Basically, you come in the morning that Saturday of the release, and they say they don't want to be stampeded. That's not going to happen. You can simply go out and buy the shoe from any store in the area. So you're not going to be stampeded. You're just going to have a set number of aficionados, like myself, connoisseurs who want the shoes. And we line up. We don't have any problems, running into anything like that. And you go to the jewelry counter. They keep the sneakers at the jewelry counter, so it's kind of controlled. And whatever's left over after the rush is over, they give them back to the shoe department, and the shoe department puts them on display. I've actually walked in on a Tuesday after a Saturday release and simply bought a shoe. Because a lot of times they do a poor job of advertising. They'll put out the sign like 2 days prior to the release. Everyone doesn't go into PX every day. Randolph has the newest PX in the area. It's small. It's a small Air Force base. It's kind of away from everyone versus Lackland, which was within the city, and Fort Sam Houston's almost smack dead in the center of the city, where Randolph is in Converse, Shirts, Universal City area on the outskirts of San Antonio. San Antonio's a big city. So a lot of people don't go there. And that's why I tend to go to that base exchange. And people say, man, why are you telling your secrets? It doesn't matter, people. The shoe is going to be there. If I don't get it there, I can simply go out the base and use my 20% discount along with another VIP pass if they let me do that. But that's the process. So he told me, and he was pretty adamant in his email, that they don't do raffles. It's not true. It's not necessarily a raffle, but the limited quantity things is out. Basically, what I was telling them, the process is outdated, and it is. It's outdated. No one's using this anymore. The days of, oh, they sold out. A regular general release, they sold out. It's not happening. All right, the last shoe to sell out was probably the IEs, the 9 IEs. It was a limited release. So there are more shoes out there. If the shoe is not at that mall, I simply drop to another mall. If it's all depleted in different stores in there, because most of the malls have a Foot Locker, Foot Action, Finish Line, and Champs. So I'm going to find the shoe. But basically, I guess Nike is telling them you have a small consumer base that's going to be able to get inside, that have access to purchase the shoes. So we're not going to ship you a whole lot. Well, AAFES corporate, contact Nike and tell them there's a demand for your shoes and you're selling them. They don't sit on the shelves. And get rid of a bunch of those Jordan brands and those. They're starting to get Pumas, I noticed. All those old, cheap-looking Adidas that they have, and the 5011 pairs of New Balance and Asics. All these workout shoes. Yes, we need to do physical training if you're still in the Army or Air Force or whatever, but don't fall into the trap of Fort Meade. A shoe tuber, fellow shoe tuber, the Vintage, up in Fort Sill, he talked about how he got into the sneaker game and how the Army helped him. I'm retired. I did 20 years in, and I've been copping sneakers from AAFES via locations all over the world since '96. And they've traditionally have always beaten, and probably always will, just due to the discount that they get on the shoes. And back in my time, it was the Air Force One. The Air Force One was the sneaker in the late 90s into the 2000s, especially with Nelly coming up with the song. And to give you an example of how cool it was to be able to get your sneakers for cheap. Fort Meade, Maryland. I'm from Baltimore, which is about 20 minutes away from Fort Meade, Maryland. Fort Meade, Maryland is within 25 to 10 minutes of several major malls and an outlet mall, Rundle Mills. Back then, in the mid-2000s, when I was stationed there from 2003, 2005, they were killing the malls with the Air Force Ones. Hands down. I mean, they had probably 8 or 9 different colorways in there, and they were going for like $49, $54, and I was just going by 3-4 pair. Simple as that. And the malls couldn't touch them. But it depends on who's managing the store and saying what people want. Now Fort Meade has a brand new mall, PX Mall, and I think it's been open for almost a year, over a year now. Yeah, over a year. It's been over a year since I left to retire and come back here. Their shoe selection sucks. The best sneaker they had, if you're somebody that's into, that those things was a Jumpman Pro. That's it. You can find that anywhere. It wasn't, oh yeah, I gotta get these. It was a Jumpman Pro. No dope colorway, just a red and white. Yeah. No. It was a black and white. Not the black, white, and gold ones that they had. That looks pretty cool. But just a black and white Jumpman Pro. They had those. And some New Balance. So if that buyer at the store is out of touch or in that region, you're going to get that. And they have just aisles upon aisles upon aisles of Under Armour. I get it. Under Armour is right there in Baltimore. hiking shoes, New Balance, Asics, just straight stuff people aren't buying. They're in there because they think everybody's just going physical training. And they have a tech school there, Defense Information School. So you have these 18 to 25-year-olds in mass there. They're just running out the gate and buying their sneakers from Arundel Mills, Columbia Mall, Marley Station, Arundel Mall, Annapolis Mall, all those malls that are around there. Going into Baltimore to Mondawmin and White Marsh outside of Baltimore. They're losing money. So even if you do the surveys, it just depends on if they're going to listen. But I've rambled enough. That's how it works. One thing, too, if you're in the military, watch that star card because you can be tempted to cop your sneakers on the star card. Trust me. I retired up there, all right, and I know what it's like to talk to my soldiers about their star card. But yeah, use your benefits, and that's it. The sneakers are out there. Just ask the question from the shoe department. Hey, when's the next retro release? I was told this Saturday they're supposed to have a retro release. Physically told. I'm not assuming this time. Last time I got some bad information. I think the person was new. And the person I normally talk to was on vacation. This person said they're doing a retro release. So I'm going to surmise that and assume that it is the Jordan 13 breads that people are already doing previews on. I think they're going to be there, so you can get those for the low at $152. They snuck the Motorsport 4s in there last weekend. I was not paying attention to them. If they were there, I would have got them just because I got them for the low. I got some coupons and stuff like that. That's the other thing, too. If you know somebody that's in and they're doing good stuff, sold the year, sold the quarter, sold the month, they might give them coupons from AFES. They don't use them. Holler at your man, see if you can get them. People still give me coupons and I'm out. Hey, man, I'm not going to use this. Here, boom. So that's that. Remember, it's not how much you paid for the sneakers. It's why you pay that much. And I'm out of here. Boom.